Assalamu alaikum.
It's okay.
Good morning. What a great way to start the day. I think it's amazing. Today we're going to speak about some real solutions developed in Saudi Arabia by Saudi engineers and AI experts for the good of humanities. But before we do that, let me talk about a little bit about context. A lot of our really international guests hears about Vision 2030 and hear about the transformation that Saudi Arabia is undertaking. And in summary, we can summarize Saudi Arabia as the biggest country in the world that's being transformed. And it's a result of a great vision called Vision 2030. But vision alone is not enough. If vision is not executed well, it stays dreams. However, in this country, everybody believes that this dream is getting or coming true every day. And we all believe more and more in this vision. And those who have doubts about the vision no longer have that doubt. I think if you look at the Vision 2030 and the programs and the initiatives, two-thirds of those vision initiatives are really directly related by data and AI. Almost every initiative directly or indirectly impacted or affected by data and AI. This is why the government and the leaders of this country created an entity that was actually born great by the name of SDAIA, the Saudi Data and AI Authority, which is hosting this conference. SDAIA actually has a unique structure where data and AI is in the same place. You don't see that a lot in many other countries, but you see it in Saudi Arabia because we want to do the multiplier effect. AI without data will not work, and AI is the best way to stress test the data and get the best potential of data. So we have three entities: the National Information System, which is offering the G-Cloud, the National Data Bank, and building all the data infrastructure that the country needs to realize the Vision 2030. But we have also the National Center for AI, where innovation comes and start building on top of this data. Not only that, we have NDMO, which is the National Data Management Office, to ensure that we have trust, we have the right regulation, the right policies. I think yesterday we heard it a lot, the AI trust, and I think we want to apply it for ourselves first. The National Center for AI, when was actually activated almost 2 years ago, the direction we received from SDAIA's leadership, and SDAIA actually is the board of SDAIA is led by His Royal Highness, the Crown Prince, is to play the ecosystem. There's no one entity can lead everything, but we all together can lead the journey for the kingdom to be among the top, hopefully 10 countries in the world in the field of AI. And we can only do that if we build the right ecosystem. Ecosystem means organizations, means the national labs, means the academics, means the private sector, all of us working together. And yesterday was really a good testimony of that when we saw Aramco announcing the AI corridor, for example. That's really a step forward towards really achieving that excellence in AI. And I think we will do the multiplier effects if we work together. We have started actually many centers of excellence with great partners, and I think today we will have some of the great leaders of those organizations talking about the real experience. But those centers of excellence to us are not just center of excellence. They are also center of gravity. Researchers working, for example, in agriculture, AI, for example, sustainability, we will direct them to work with the Center of Excellence. This way, we can provide them the right data, the right excellence, and their work will not only be a publication in a nice journal, but in reality a product that our citizens and visitors will enjoy. So today, I'm really happy to be joined by our partners from across different sectors of the ecosystem to share some early success. And I would like to declare this is just the beginning for Saudi Arabia, and hopefully you will see more in the coming years. We will start with the future of environment sector. So please join me in welcoming His Excellency, the Vice Minister Mansour Al-Mshaiti from the Ministry of Environment, Water, Agriculture, to highlight the work we are doing together on the climate and sustainability front. Your Excellency. Thank you.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. صبحكم الله بالخير جميعا. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning everyone. I'm pleased to be here this morning. Our journey to the future is limited only by our limits of imagination. Let me repeat this once again. Our journey to the future is only limited by our imagination. Consider this. If a farmer is having a problem with one of his plants and he doesn't know what to do with that, he can simply take his mobile, take a picture, and upload it to the Ministry Extension platform, and the system will provide him with the solution around the clock and with no human interaction. This is the promise of the artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence will help us to speed up our multi-progress and achieve our strategic goal of sustainability in alignment and in perfect harmony with Vision 2030. This will also help us in transform to a digital society, digital economy, and digital nation. Once again, sustainability is a fundamental pillar of our national priorities. Sustainability is our goal, is your goal, it's my goal, it's everyone's goal. Of course, this will not be easy. Let us bear in mind that providing water and food while preserving environment will be challenging. Equally important, balancing industrial and economic growth along with protecting the planet is crucial for our future here in Saudi Arabia, inspired and led by His Royal Highness, the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. At the Ministry of Environment, Water and Agriculture, one leading question that keeps repeating and revisiting our line of thought is the following. How far can we go with the conventional strategy into the future? In a record time. Definitely, conventional means and business and doing business as usual will enable us to achieve our strategic goal. But at what cost? To what extent and when? We need disruptive solution that unlock our potential, unlock the potential of our untapped resources across the kingdom and will enable us to depart from the old legacy and implement the state-of-the-art technologies and deploy artificial intelligence when, where, and how best is needed. For example, cloud seeding, smart irrigation, remote sensing, and many others. Let me share this example. With the big thanks to artificial intelligence, the satellite imaging enabled us to save almost 10 billion cubic meter of water per year. This in turn will help us to achieve the following: facilitate the working in concert and in unison, also promote a smart and effective decision-making ecosystem, and create synergy not among environment, water, agriculture, but also includes food and energy. Let us talk numbers. The language of figures can be more compelling. Here in Saudi Arabia, the bill for food, the annual bill for food is 100 billion Saudi riyal, while the budget for the water for the upcoming 5 years is around 300 billion Saudi riyal. In the same vein, the time, the money, the effort required to preserve and protect environment and the impact of the climate change and mitigate the impact of climate change and reach the net zero carbon by 2060, and also planting 10 billion trees in the upcoming decades. At MIWA, we are proud today to announce the establishment of the Artificial Intelligence for MIWA with our strategic partner, the Saudi Data and AI Authority and Google. This will help us to implement the sustainability solution and also cutting-edge technologies and AI application. This will have 3 programs and 11 initiatives. We are also proud today to launch the Earth Observation and Science Program, known as AOSP. This will address the risk of the climate change and will enable us to improve the protection of the environment, not only here in Saudi Arabia, but also in the region. Finally, and this is my message today, working with state-of-the-art technology and with all of us here, along with the AI application, with the support and vision of our leader, sustainability will become reality. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. I think it's a great news to announce that MIWA and Sadaya and Google will be launching a program for climate change in Saudi Arabia, the first of its kind in the whole region. Next, please join me to welcome His Excellency Lieutenant General Mohammed Al-Bassami, Director of Public Security, to underline the steps Saudi Arabia has taken to ensure the comfort and security of our holy mosques visitors.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful,
It
it is my pleasure to talk to you today in this important summit about the utilization of AI in the field of security works and the realms of the 2 holy mosques. Therefore, we ask ourselves a lot, and our colleagues ask as well, are we heading towards providing the provision of smart security services? How can we go there, and how and when can we do that?
ولذلك
Therefore,
حظي الأمن العام
public security
الفترة الماضية
in the
بشراكة
recent period
مجموعة من
has
المبادرات
been bestowed with partnerships and a number of initiatives. An important initiative, one of these important initiatives within the Guests of God program is related to enriching the cultural visit of pilgrims and visitors of the holy mosques and providing services of high quality
بالإضافة إلى أيضا تسهيل
in addition
استضافة
to
المزيد من الحجاج
facilitation of welcoming more visitors and
هذه الشراكة لم
pilgrims in the coming periods. This partnership wouldn't have been
وأيضا بشراكة
realistic without the partnerships and the initiative of the program of the Guests of God, and with the great support we receive from all entities working in the field of the holy mosques services.
لوجود هذه الخدمات واستخدام
The availability of such services and the use of AI, in order to achieve that, public security worked on a number of enablers.
أنشأنا منصة
We
أمن
launched Amn, or security platform, and now we also have a partnership with a number of
التي تقدم
companies that provide
الأمنية لبناء
security solutions in order to build
مراكز تحليل
centers for data analysis, and we also enabled the security people and officers and on the field to implement these programs using Bashir and Amn in the field, and these are programs and also a system for security services, and we also have another service
ونعمل الآن مع الشركاء
for the administrational area, and we work with our partners to provide.
كلنا أمن. يعمل الآن على إنشاء وتطوير
We now are working on providing
والاعتماد على خدمات الحوسبة
data services, and we for the National Information Center, and we integrate with all of the partner organizations. There is no doubt there are huge opportunities for using AI in the fields of
تعرف على
pilgrims, Hajj and Umrah, in order to identify the pilgrims, the missing people, also having a heat map for pedestrians and all of their movements, and also how to manage them and all of the rituals process.
جهزنا أيضا الدورات
We also
أنظمة
prepared
متطورة
security officers with advanced security systems, and we also are using a number of technologies in order to provide,
أيضا
in partnership with other agencies, how to use some
مراقبة الحركة
equipment like drones in order to monitor the movements of the pilgrims in the sacred places. In the field of training,
أيضا عززنا
we also
أيضا الاستفادة
enhanced
من الواقع
the
الافتراضي في
benefiting from the virtual
وانترنت الأشياء.
reality in terms of Internet of Things and others. Also, we have another important initiatives in Mecca, the holy city,
لا علاقة ب
through Mecca Amir program related to programming all of the permits for pilgrims at the gates and how to identify those who have access to enter the holy city of Mecca. There is no doubt that the holy city of Mecca are also impacted by the pilgrimage
من الأهمية أن يكون هناك تنظيم
events, and it is important to have organization in order not to impact all of the livelihood of people in this holy city.
متجهون الآن
But we are now going towards, in partnership with Sadaya, we're going towards establishing a program, a technological program depending on artificial intelligence in order to be used in
والتي أعتقد
the two holy mosques. And in the coming period, we are going to build algorithms and models that are specific and customized to Saudi Arabia, because there is no other similar place in the whole world like the holy mosques in Saudi Arabia.
نحن الآن في مرحلة
We are now
الأعمال
working on understanding the nature of these works, and we will move towards analyzing and understanding the data and building models for learning and
من خلال أيضا
training the electronic model and the machine model through the understanding of algorithms. And in this
بناء الثقة
way, we need to build trust, and we will not be able to build trust until all of these softwares and programs are customs on the behaviors of pilgrims and visitors. We had great outcomes last month. We have partnerships with Sharaka, with Sadaya, and with Saudi experts, and this is something that makes us proud that one day we will be able to provide this technology for the whole world, so that all the behaviors and pilgrimage behaviors of pilgrims at this place, whether it's connected to the circulation around the Kaaba when coming or when leaving, or the farewell circulations, and also other rituals inside the holy mosques. Also, this technology will help us in elevating the efficiency of operation and also knowing the behaviors of the visitors of the holy mosques. I know exactly that there are some parts, if we are not ready for them, and if we are not ready to align fully with the requirements of the users, and with also how to know the nature of these technologies, we will not be able to succeed. But one of the things that I witnessed last month is that there is a huge interest from our colleagues in Sadaya and our colleagues in the security sector to have these technologies available. Thank you very much for listening.
Shukran, Maali.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
Healthcare is very close to all of us, and healthcare is really one of the sectors that has not yet been disrupted by technology. And we all know that no matter how rich is a country, capacity is going to be an issue. How data and AI can contribute in really improving the population health and enhancing the capacity for doctors to see more patients. We have with us today, please welcome His Excellency Dr. Mohammed Abdel Al, Assistant Minister of Health.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent and the Merciful, may all have a very good morning. I'm pleased to be amongst you today, and I'm proud to be here in this international elite, in this summit that is led by Saudi Arabia in this field. I'd like to thank the organizers for allowing me the opportunity to be here with you.
Our Kingdom's Vision 2030, the Health Sector Transformation Program has identified multiple opportunities, among which are the data and artificial intelligence, and considered these two to be key enablers in achieving all the targets and the main targets of this health sector transformation program. We know from different aspects that achieving these targets are going to be met with multiple challenges, and we know with appropriate implementation and utilization and adoption and belief in the importance of these two key enablers, it's going to be much more easy and high rate of success in achieving these targets. The positive impact of implementing and utilizing data and data analytics and artificial intelligence in different aspects are improving the healthcare sector. We know that meeting the growing demand is going to be easily handled with the appropriate utilization of these technologies. Plus, we know also from different previously successful initiatives and experiences that it's going to be also helping us in the prevention programs, helping us in the primary, secondary, tertiary, even much more complex kind of healthcare services. It's also going to be helping us in providing the healthcare services in a more successful and with high quality and more access to care. MOH and Sadaya have established the Center of Excellence for Artificial Intelligence in Health. And this Center of Excellence, the aim of its establishment was to support and unify the national efforts, unify all these national efforts to increase the knowledge and experiences in the field of data and artificial intelligence. Also to drive AI solutions and to develop more and more of the partnerships and strengthen and drive the ecosystem in its strategic partnerships. The center, with no time, has studied and identified more than 100 use cases in artificial intelligence and focused around 3 of them related to diabetes, cardiovascular disorders, as well as oncology. And we know that the selection and prioritization of these 3 conditions or diseases is matching the targets that we are looking for in our transformation program and main needs. The National Breast Cancer Screening Program that Ministry of Health established around 10 years back is one of the most important programs. Why? Because it's touching one of the most important conditions and diseases that's impacting thousands of individuals per year. Just in 2020, around 4,000 registered new cases with breast cancer. We know from some studies that around 50% or more of these cases are diagnosed but in late stages, so with poor prognosis. The earlier we detect these cases, the more chance and the highly that they are going to be having better survival rates. Not only that, but the number of these cases is representing something between 15 and 17% of all discovered cancer cases per year. And this is a big portion of all cancer. So this is really a priority. Add to that, the bottlenecks in the journey of an individual to be diagnosed and then treated appropriately is going to be passing through multiple bottlenecks. Among them is the shortage of specialized practitioners who can diagnose these cases. And that's why we know that there are chances like 20% to misdiagnose these cases or inappropriately label the conditions, and the coverage is not yet reaching our targets. With the use of AI, we know that the success is going to be huge. Why is that? It will increase the accuracy of the diagnosis. It will improve the access by empowering and adding more productivity rates to the practitioners. So our dear physicians and all other practitioners supporting them are going to be supported, as well as empowered with the artificial intelligence to diagnose more cases and faster. And faster diagnosis means early detection, and early detection means high rate of survival. Not only that, but the unnecessary repeated diagnostics, recall of patients, multiple referrals will be also controlled appropriately with the artificial intelligence and the utilization of data. And this is really, really very promising. And this prioritization and selection of this program or this detection program is a very important thing. From here, we announced the first result of this cooperation and the launch of the initial version of AI-based breast cancer detection program. And this program, in its initial version, is going to be a step, but a very important step. And we know in the chapters of medicine, when we add pages, paragraphs, sentences, or even a single word, we are improving our health. But now, in this very important moment, we are in front of a very big opportunity to write new chapters in medicine. I invite you to visit the booth where Ministry of Health, in collaboration with SEDAIA, are presenting this system and demonstrating it, as well as other several showcases. Thank you very much. Proud to be here.
Thank you very much, Dr. Abdel Al. we will still be in healthcare, and this time we will talk about diabetics. And this is a serious issue in Saudi Arabia and the region. And we have with us Dr. Abdulaziz Al-Rajhi, the CEO of King Khalid Eye Specialists, to talk about the efforts they are making on this subject.
Thank you very much, Dr. Majid. Ladies and gentlemen, they say the eye is the window to the soul, but it's also the window to your health status. Ever wondered how can we see and what's the mechanism? When we look around us, the light comes through the eye, through the cornea, and the cornea is the transparent part of the eye, the front of the eye, and then goes through the pupil and the lens inside the eye to be focused on the retina, which is the inward layer that is lining the eye from inside. From there, the light is transformed into electrical pulses that go through the optic nerve to the brain. So anything that affects that pathway in any way will ultimately lead to decrease in vision and sometimes, unfortunately, to the loss of vision. One of these diseases that has a great impact on vision in Saudi Arabia is diabetes. As you know, it is estimated that we have approximately around 4 million people in Saudi Arabia who are affected by diabetes. And it's a chronic disease that unfortunately you have to live with and control, but we cannot eradicate. And unfortunately, within the patients or the people who are affected with diabetes, almost 20% of them have diabetic retinopathy. And diabetic retinopathy is a complication caused by diabetes that affects the retina, which we said is the internal lining of the eye, where there are some abnormal changes that take place on the surface of the retina and within the structure of the retina itself. That eventually, if untreated, undiagnosed, undetected, will end up in losing vision. So in order to preserve vision to this great percentage of our population, we need to screen for diabetic changes within the eye. Currently, the difficulties that we are facing and the challenges is that the cost is very high to screen this huge number of people. The waiting time is very long to get an appointment, and there is a big strain on the facilities and the human resources that are quite limited to do all of these screening to all of these patients, which they need to be periodically, sometimes once a year and sometimes every 6 months and sometimes 4 or 5 times a year. Plus, there is a huge cost and a burden on the economy to screen for all this huge number of patients. So this is where artificial intelligence kicks in and has a major impact on decreasing the difficulties and the complications that we face with diabetes. If we have an artificial intelligence-based module that will help the patient get diagnosed and screened without the intervention of a human being. You will have a station, screening station. It can be in a mall, it can be anywhere. And people will just go in, an automated camera will take a picture of the fundus of the eye. The AI algorithm will diagnose at the initial stage whether or not there is a complication in the retina, whether it's normal or abnormal. And then from there, it will refer him to a physician if it's abnormal. If it's normal, it will ask him to come back again in a year. The next step would be to differentiate the type of abnormality and even direct the patient to whom he should go for treatment. And this by itself, using the AI, we will increase the capacity by 4-folds, decrease the time of the clinic visit by 80%, and decrease the number of staff and human resources that we need to develop this. Once we develop this system, we can then screen all of these patients and provide them treatment before they go into complications. And I'm happy to say that and announce in this forum that the King Khalid Eye Specialist Hospital, along with the Sadaya, in the form of the National Center for Artificial Intelligence and the Saudi Company for Artificial Intelligence and Lean Company of the Ministry of Health and the Center of Excellence for AI in Health of Ministry of Health, we have joined together to start the first national project where we will validate an AI-based module for the screening of diabetic retinopathy changes in our patient. With that, that will be a very important tool for us to pick up these changes and these complications before they become advanced to a stage that we cannot treat it anymore. And I extend the invitation to all of you to go to the booth of Sadaya, where we have a live demo over there, and try the tool for yourself. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Abdulaziz. AI is about understanding. Machine can understand human, and human can interact with the machine. And language technology is a major part of AI. We want to talk about now the Sadaya's effort in the Arabic language technology. And please allow me to welcome Dr. Yasser Al-Anezan. He's the Deputy CEO of National Center for AI, an individual who spent 20 years in the US between IBM Watson and Amazon AWS. And he just joined us to lead this effort in Saudi Arabia.
Thank you, Dr. Majid. I really appreciate it. I appreciate the kind words and the introduction. I don't think I deserve even one bit of that, but I'll try to, justify it. Communicating is key to exchange ideas, to understand each other, and so on. And when you're communicating with a human, the human brain has a significant ability to understand humans and exchange ideas and so on and so forth. As AI becomes ubiquitous in the workplace, in the home, in the car, and so on and so forth, you need to be able to communicate with the AI systems in an effective way. So far, what has been done so far is that we are expecting humans to adjust and to communicate to the machine as a machine, and this is completely unacceptable. Humans need to be able to communicate naturally and to speak naturally, and the burden is on the machine and on the AI system to understand them perfectly. So as part of that, we think that Arabic is key to our communication in Saudi Arabia and the Islamic world in general. So that's why we established a Center of Excellence on Arabic Language Technology at Sadaya. And the goal there is to make communicating with machine in Arabic is as simple as communicating with a human. And with the first program that we're focusing on verbal communication, I'm talking to you verbally right now, and I would like to have people be able to understand me and to have also machines be able to understand me. So we are establishing our focus for speech, what we call speech recognition. You speak in your own language, in your own dialect, and the burden is on the machine to recognize that and convert it into text. And this is the first piece of the communication puzzle. We worked on developing this system with, as Dr. Majid said, with Saudi engineers, Saudi scientists, Saudi data, and we, as part of this exercise, we collected the largest data to be able to train the system. We're employing the latest and greatest in deep learning technology and end-to-end speech recognition systems to build that system. So, we have it actually in the booth. You can try it out for yourself. I'm not going to tell you much more about it, but as we are developing this in the lab, we come up with these questions of how good is it? This system that we're calling Sautek. Sautek it's Saudi audio technology, and it happens to be your voice. It means your voice in English if you translate the word. So I'm happy to introduce Dr. Hassan Sawaf, who will be talking about how good is the system. We have it in the lab, we test it, we love it. We just wanted to see if a third-party validation of how good is the system. And Dr. Sawaf has spent 20, 30 years of plus, although he's a lot younger than he looks, but the issue is that he worked in AI for many years, and especially in particularly speech and language technology. He was the former director of AI at Amazon, a former director of AI at eBay, a former director of AI at Facebook, and he's currently the CEO and the founder of AI Explain. So, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Yasser. Thank you very much, Dr. Majid, for inviting me over. So, we at Explain built tools and capabilities to deploy, analyze, benchmark, improve, and fine-tune AI capabilities. As part of these tools, so we believe that basically benchmarking is a motor, is a motivator to do innovations. And that's why we built basically this tool set. As one of the tools which we are using for this effort, we used benchmarking for transcription to test out how SOTAC looks like. And we used well-established metrics to analyze that. We defined a standard data set. We defined basically the metrics which we want to improve. And I mean, we worked in research for a long time with metrics which are predefined in the United States, for example, by NIST. And this is basically the metrics which we're using. We're using the metric called word error rate, meaning how many mistakes, we're counting basically the mistakes the system develops. How many differences are there between a human reference and what the machine generates? So, as I said, we used the benchmarking for transcription. We analyzed the system against leaders of the field in speech recognition, cloud providers and specialist suppliers of that technology, and we measured 9% improvement over the next best speech recognition engine for Saudi dialects, which is impressive, especially for the small time which basically the scientists had to develop this kind of capabilities. In addition to that, so you would say, okay, we are in Saudi Arabia, there is data which is unique to Saudi Arabia, maybe this is one reason, but it is not only for Saudi, but also for Modern Standard Arabic, which is very commonly used in other countries, obviously, and the technology providers focus on. Even there, we have 8% compared to the next best technology provider measured, which is impressive. The system, as Dr. Yasser said, the system is here to test. So these are quantitative metrics. Go and test it qualitatively and see if it works for your voice. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Hassan. Really appreciate it. Now we finished from the lab and it's time to go to the market. And I couldn't be happier to announce that we are partnering with Sky, the Saudi company for AI, to take it to the market. So really appreciate it. Not only that, but I'm also happy to announce that we will be joining forces with Saudi Airlines as our launch partner to take it, not just to the market, but to, drive it through the customer experience of Saudi airline customers. I wanted to, recap the session. So we mentioned a few things. You can take my word for it; they're great. But I would invite you to go to the booths and try them for yourself. Some of these things are with our strategic partner with Sky. Some of that is at the Ministry of Health, the breast cancer screening. And last but not least is the climate and sustainability engine with in the Google booth. So thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Dr. Yasser, thank you very much. We missed STC. We are also signing with STC also as the second partner that we will be trying the speech recognition with.
Yes.
So,
thank you, Dr. Maher.
With this good news, I think we are ready for the next speaker, and sorry for taking a few minutes of your time. Thank you very much, everyone.